Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be doing a review on the Superare boxing shoes. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm excited to bring you guys a review on the Superare boxing shoes. I got mine in the all white colorway. You can also get this in all black. Hopefully they release more colors down the road. These retail for $109.95 US dollars on the Superare website. Sizing wise, they come in men's size 4 all the way to size 14. So you definitely have a wide range of sizes to choose from. If you are a female and you're looking to get these shoes, make sure you use a sizing conversion chart. That way you know the correct size to get. The other cool thing about these shoes is that they come in half sizes. Sometimes you see that with certain boxing brands, they only have whole sizes. So you're kind of, if you wear like a size 10 and a half, you're kind of forced to choose between a 10 or an 11, where this one comes in half sizes. So it gives you a little bit more of a close exact fit. Now with that being said, if you have wide feet like I do with myself, boxing shoes tend to run more snug. Some brands have a more narrow fit, like the Nikes, like the Macho Mayas or the Hyper KOs, and I just have a hard time wearing shoes like that because they run so narrow to begin with. Even if you do go a half size up, you might get a little bit more in length, but the toe box typically is the area where you find the biggest issue. So that was a big concern of me when I purchased these shoes, was this toe box area as far as it being too tight, because that's where my feet are the widest, is on that outside edge. Right below the big toe and the small toe on the outside. And that's probably the same for a lot of you guys where you have wider feet or you just have meatier feet. With that being said, I feel that these shoes are breaking in really nicely, and that has a lot to do with the upper material that they use on here compared to some of the synthetics like that Nike Flywire material that is more of like a plastic polymer type material, and it doesn't have really any give in the material because it's not stretchable like leather. This is actually made of vegan leather as well as a breathable mesh material. The shoes themselves are manufactured in China. And what really caught my eye about these shoes is, one, they're Superare's first official boxing shoe that's branded under Superare. But two, is just the overall design. It actually reminds me of some of those Italian style boxing shoes with kind of like an old school with a new school look combined. And I really dig the look of the shoe. They don't look super high tech like the Hyper KO2s or the Hyper KOs where you have all these zigzag designs and all these fancy materials on it. But they don't look super archaic and old as well like some of the older just, you know, plain black boxing shoes that are just made out of leather. So I definitely love the look of them. They have a very unique look to them. I guess you could kind of say they look like some of the older Everlast shoes in that regard. But the style of it is really cool. I like the fact they didn't use like that front strap right here that a lot of other brands kind of copy off Nike, where they have that Velcro strap to give you more support on their forefoot. So I definitely like that part. So to kind of give you guys an overview, again, vegan leather upper with the mesh. You also have these nice long flat laces with the plastic tips at the end. The mesh, you can see, is right here on the side of the shoe all the way towards the front. The toe box is with that vegan leather. It is a fairly lightweight shoe. Now coming to the side, you have this perforated looking material on the side right here and kind of this X crisscross design with that vegan leather that's stitched over the top. You also have the Superare logo that's stitched right here on this little leather tab on the upper portion of the ankle support. And one thing to also mention is that this shoe is considered to be a mid-rise shoe. So it's not a super high boxing boot, which some people like, but it takes forever to lace up. And it's not a super low shoe. Some people don't like the look of the low, and you typically don't get the same level of ankle support you do with the mid shoe. So the fact that they went with the mid is perfect for me. I love mids for boxing. They're kind of a in between a high top shoe and a low top. It gives you kind of that perfect balance. So it's good that they went with that. So you have that Superare logo all white. You also have that skull logo on the back of the shoe right there. The material they use on the actual ankle support around here is kind of this tacky, I wouldn't even say metallic. It has kind of a unique look to it that they use on just this portion of the shoe. The rest of the shoe just uses the mesh and that vegan leather, but this uses kind of like a metallic pearl type material that's in white. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but it looks pretty cool. You have the same tab on the other side. You also have the Superare logo on the back. And on the opposite, same thing with a perforated panel, the Cross X design there. You have the metal lace eyelets right here that the laces go through, so that's nicely reinforced with a leather that goes all the way down. So you have the leather on both of those. And then the tongue has mesh that goes all the way to the tip of the toe. Right here, you also have the loop in here that the laces go through to give you support through the midsection of the tongue. It says Superare 2011 on the tongue, which is the same material that's on the ankle support right there. The inside of the shoe shows the label there. I got mine in size 11 because I have wide feet. I go a half size up. And you also have, which I love too, is a removable insole. And the insole is actually pretty well cushioned. When I put my feet in here, it actually was surprising on how this felt. Typically you get like a really cheap insole that's just super flat and it really offers no support whatsoever, but they did a pretty nice job of actually adding a little bit more foam and just a little bit more of ergonomics to your footbed right there. But it's good that you can remove it. That way, if you have your own custom orthotics, or if you have your own insoles that you wear because you have some issues with your feet, you can take these out and slide your own in there and have a more custom feel to your liking. So definitely like the fact that you have a removable insole on the inside of the shoe. Go ahead and slide these back in. So those are in there. And then obviously the outsole, the bottom of the shoe, is a rubber outsole right there. You can see that it has this cross design right here on the back. The heel cup rises up right there. You have a small indentation on the heel, but you get excellent amount of grip with these shoes, good traction, good for footwork and pivoting. And then right here where the toe is in the ball of the foot, it's not as grippy because you want to be able to kind of rotate on the balls of your feet. And if you're being light on your feet as well, if you're off your heel, you want to have a little bit more mobility. Last thing you want is for your foot to grip too much on the canvas and you end up tripping over yourself. So I definitely like the actual grip and the traction design on the bottom of the shoe. Being all white obviously can be a drawback when it comes to getting dirty. So for those of you that are concerned about your shoes getting super dirty, if you get all white, that's just pretty much expected, common sense. Or get the all black versions. I'm hoping they do come out with other colors, or at least allow you to customize these. That way you can have kind of contrasting different colors to make it look unique to your own. So overall, a really cool looking shoe. The quality has held up pretty well so far. I've had these for about 2 weeks now, and they actually were released a couple of weeks ago. And one thing that I typically have issues with boxing shoes, which I mentioned earlier, is going to be the toe box. Now, some shoes like the Title Predators, the Hyper KOs, they use a synthetic upper, especially around this portion of the shoe, that even if you do wear it for a year straight, it just does not break in. It might have a little bit of give over time, but the material doesn't allow for that. What I like about this material is this leather and this mesh over time, especially just after using this for a week already, has started to kind of stretch out open. If I wanted to stretch it out even more, I could probably put a shoe stretcher that you can turn and it kind of splits open to widen the shoes, or maybe stuff a towel on the inside. But the initial feel was it was definitely snug over the top bridge of my foot. Not to the point where I wanted to take the shoes off, but it was definitely noticeable. But at the end of the week, it definitely broke in. And I'd say about another week or so of using these shoes at the gym, these will be completely broken in and super comfortable. But do keep in mind, go a half size up if you do have wide feet. If you do have normal to narrow feet, then just get true to size shoes. That if you wear size 10, get a size 10. But overall, I'm really pleased with these shoes for the price point of $109.95. It has excellent traction for where you need it. Footwork wise for boxing, obviously we're going to be using a lot of lateral movement, bobbing and weaving, moving, slipping, using your footwork, doing all of that. And you need a shoe where you can feel really grounded, planted to the ground, but at the same time feel comfortable doing all of your work. So I felt it was really comfortable. This insole felt good. I may replace this with a thicker gel insole that I use in my other shoes. I don't know yet. I'll just see how that goes. But the insole that they supply is definitely better than some of the stock insoles I have in some other shoes. And the fact that it's removable, I love that. This is starting to break in more, which is great. One other thing you do have to keep in mind is removing putting your foot in and taking your foot out is a little bit hard with this if you lace the laces all the way to the top. because you have to loosen the laces all the way down to like right about here. This is kind of a choke point right here in the shoe. And by that I mean once you put your foot in, it kind of chokes itself right here because the back of your heel is sliding down here to try to get the front of your foot down in here. So you really have to loosen up the laces. So if you do have issues with that with this shoe, you don't have to go all the way to the top unless you really need that top lace support. But I usually end up going to the second or this third, from the second or third down from the top one, and then I go with the extra laces around the ankle to give myself some extra support. That way I can loosen up the laces down here further to allow my feet to slip in and slip out of the shoe more easily. Otherwise, it feels like it's a pain in the ass to kind of put your foot in the shoe because of how snug it is in this portion of the shoe. But again, I think they're great. I think they're comfortable. I'm just really happy that they're breaking in. And that's the biggest issue I had, and I still have with a lot of shoes that run narrow. But the fact that they do give you a little extra breathing room is nice. Maybe in the future they can get a version of the shoe that has a little bit more of a squared off toe box and not so rounded. That way if you do have super wide feet, you can get these shoes and not have any issues with any kind of discomfort or feeling any kind of pain in your foot. But overall, I'm really satisfied with these Superare boxing shoes. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. As usual, I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Superare boxing shoes. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.